Hey dreamers, this is Jade. Welcome back to my channel. I am here so we can talk about what quarter 2 is going to look like in my journals. As you can see here, I have a very healthy stack. So we'll just go through everything and I will let you all know how I intend on using these, or how I intend on hoping to use them, because some of these I have in my stash and I haven't used them in quarter 1, but I'm hoping to at least do 1 or 2 spreads in them in quarter 2. So anyway, let's go ahead and jump in and get started. And we'll start with the stack that I use basically on a daily basis or very often throughout the week. Okay, we're going to start off with basically my foundational journals, which are these 3, and then we'll get into the rest of these 2. These are the ones that I use pretty much every day. And I will start with this one. This is my mini bullet journal. Let me squeeze in a little here. And basically, this is a Chic Sparrow pocket that I have this in. It was a collaboration with Sam's Plans. I'm not sure if that's still the name of her channel. She may have changed it. But anyway, I liked it so much I got 2, and it has a little pocket here. This is pocket size. I use a Create with Pen notebook, and I just decided to decorate the pocket with an image from One Piece, which this is Monkey D. Luffy, who is the captain and the main protagonist in the entire story. I also made a backup image, so if I want to change it out throughout the year, I can do that. And basically, I just printed the images off around the size that I needed here, and then laminated it and cut around it. And this here is Ace, Luffy, and Sabo, and I just love that trio there. And so this is a Create with Pen notebook that I use, and it basically gets a lot of months in here. When I was doing it like this, where I would keep track of my days over here as far as the timing and stuff, and then do a little recap. When I was doing it like this, it would last me like 8 months. Now that I'm doing it where it's just this and this is like the same thing on each day, it'll probably last me longer. But anyway, basically what I do in here is, I'll show you March. I will come in here, and each month I will make a new calendar. I like making my own calendars and decorating it and all that kind of stuff. And sometimes, as you can see here, it's just blank. I don't keep up with anything. And sometimes I will keep track of my period or anything else. Lately, I've been trying to keep track of random songs that pop in my head that I'm singing when I wake up, that there's no rhyme or reason that they should be in my head. So yeah. Anyway, so I will create my March calendar, and then the next I will create a March watch list, or a watch list for whatever month I'm in. And then I like to print off icons 0.75 by 0.75 for each show or movie that I watch for the month. And then also the same thing over here. I make myself a little playlist section, and anything that I've been listening to on repeat, that will go here. And then all of my books that I read for the month will go down here. Now, I was doing this mind spill, which is AKA a brain dump, but I don't use that much anymore. So I just stopped doing it in this one. I do also make myself an online orders little spread here, so I can keep track of what I'm ordering online. When the cost, basically the site it comes from, the cost, the date I ordered it, the date it shipped, and the date I received it, just so I can keep track of the process of my order and also what I'm spending online. And then basically what I do in here every day is I just come in, and whatever time that I'm doing, whatever it is that I'm doing, I will write that down just like a general thing. 2 p.m. See, 2 p.m. here, I meditated and scripted. And then at around 3 p.m., I had my snack. Usually when I'm having my snack, I'll be doing something like watching YouTube or whatever. And then I will start doing whatever it is I'm doing for the day. So this here was like miscellaneous journal stuff, etc., etc. So that's basically what I do here. And now that I'm not recounting the days anymore on here, because I'm doing so, I intended on doing so in my Hobonichi Avec. It's just this every day instead of like a recap. And then at the end of the night, I will go in, make sure I have everything filled out as far as what I was doing during what times. And then I will actually do a thing where it says goals for tomorrow. So I'll write down a few things that I want to get done for the next day. And then I can just flip back and forth and check off what I actually was able to get done. And so, yeah, in here, like if I remember something that I want to recount somewhere else, I'll try to make myself a little note or whatever like that. But anyway, that's basically how I use this mini bullet journal, and it works for me. It's been working for me for a few years now, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it type of thing. I may modify or tweak it here and there, but this system is what I've been using for the last few years, and it works. So that's it. That's all. I may possibly go back to doing a recap page like I was doing in the beginning, but that just depends. I have not completely 100% decided on that yet. It's a possibility, but so far, if not, this is how I'll be using it, and this is how I have used it in the past. So that's it for my mini bullet journal. And moving on, we have my 1 line a day journal, and this is basically self-explanatory. I just come here and write 1 line a day, or sometimes, as you can see, just one thing here, one little big thing that I'm recounting. And a lot of times it's actually more than like 1 line. I'll do a couple sentences or whatever, just a brief recap of the day. And this is, I have been in this for 4 years, and so far I've been able to keep up with it for the most part. It was the first year where I was struggling a little bit because I was having a lot of health issues. So there were times that I was like in pain or in the hospital or whatever, and I just left things blank and I never went back and filled it in. But usually now I try to, even if I'm having those type of days, I'll try to go back in and like put like this, ER or biopsy, pain day, whatever, just to have something in there. So yeah, so this is basically how I'm using my 1 line a day journal. It does get repetitive between my mini bullet journal, this, and my 5-year. However, if I decide, so far I'm fine with it. If I decide that I don't want to do that any longer, this will be the first to go. But I'm already in the 4th year. There's only 1 year left after this, so I don't see myself giving this up until I have completed the entire thing. I probably won't get another one after I'm done, but I do want to have a complete and total completed 1 line a day journal. So yeah, anyway, this is all faded and stuff now, so I may consider putting a sticker on it, but that is my 1 line a day journal. And basically the same type of situation going on here in my 5-year journal, Hobonichi. I had started this actually year before last, and I messed it up, and so I had to get a totally new one and start fresh. So last year was my starting fresh year, and as you can see, I have my my first year done. And I'm trying to do this, and just to make it aesthetically pleasing, at least I hope so, I'm trying to do this in a Roy G. Biv format, meaning that if I'm writing with my pen, the first year I wrote in red, and then this year it is orange. I actually ended up changing orange colors because the Pentel kind of, I'm not sure if it bled through, but you can see it more than this pen that I'm using now, which is the Sarasa, like see through the pages or whatever. And so yeah, you can see this, but it's a lot lighter than the Pentel. And so yeah, so that's what I've been doing here. And so this year is my orange. The next year I intend on using green, and then blue, and then purple, and that'll finish out the entire 5 years. The only thing, and so basically what I do in here is come and recount the day. Sometimes I use pictures, as you can see, and sometimes with the other, like as with the other one, I'll do a whole big thing here. I'll use stickers every now and again, or use just kind of big words to put stuff in here, especially if I'm not feeling it or nothing really of note happened that day that I want to get down. So like here was a pain day. So yeah, and that's what I've been doing in here, and so far I like it. The only thing about this that is irking me so far, and it's my fault, is that I don't have much going on over here, and I definitely want to make sure these pages and stuff get decorated and filled up before the 5 years are up. So I need to keep that in mind and consider that. I will add like a sticker or something like that every now and again on that side to denote whatever it is. Like here, I went to see Beetlejuice last year. I feel like there was another one where I think went to see Bad Boys. Yeah, anyway, here he goes. And so yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing in here. I think everybody is pretty much familiar with the 5-year Hobonichi journal. Really enjoy working in those, and those are the 3 that I am pretty much in every single day. And so here is another one. This is not an everyday journal, however I am in it often. This is my Dream journal. This is a regular line journal from Magic of I. They do have actually dedicated Dream journals if you want to grab one of those. This is the A6 size. I am not a sponsor or affiliate or anything like that. I have just used them in the past and I enjoyed them, and I enjoy their notebooks and stuff. And so I do use this. I'm not going to open it and flip through it because it is like personal. It's my dreams and stuff like that. However, it is a lined notebook. I will show you that this is what it looks like on the inside, the lines. Again, this is A6. And this is about this little cream part. This is about how far I've gotten into it for this year. This is a new notebook I started this year. So let's see if I'm able to fill it up by the end of the year and start a new one. We'll see. As I said, I only record my dreams in it. I typically remember my dreams, but sometimes they escape me before I can actually write them down. But for the most part, I do pretty well. I will say several times a month I'm able to come here and record my dreams. So yeah, moving on. We have my scripting journal, and again, I will not be flipping through this or showing you what I've written in this. I have a kind of like a practice one. If anybody's interested in that, I'll link it above when I show you what scripting is and how I do it in here. So yeah, anyway, this is the 2025 One Piece collaboration cover in A6. I love it because it is Ace, Luffy, and Sabo as children, and they were just so adorable. And I have a cover on this, and then I am actually using the Hobonichi pen in this. Surprise, surprise, because I don't really like the size, but it goes well with the honestly, it goes well with the size of the grid in here. But what I'm using is a Hobonichi Techo 2025, the One Piece edition. You guys know I am obsessed with One Piece, so anything I can get One Piece is fantastic. I also have the pencil board here. And as I said, I won't be flipping through what I have written or whatever, but here's just kind of a little taste of what the notebook looks like. And it is just so pretty, and I love coming in here. And thankfully, I used this last year for my scripting, but I didn't keep up with it very well. And now that I've decided to work this into my get up routine, I do this very often. I'm much more consistent with it now. And so I'm glad to see the pages filling up. Again, it's not every single day, but I will say I script in this more days than I do not. So yeah, anyway, really enjoying this and enjoying scripting and just kind of imagining life the way I would like it to be and stuff like that. And so again, like I said, I do use the Hobonichi pen, typically the blue color in this. So that is another one that I use fairly often. And the last one that I use really often is my gratitude journal. Again, this is Magic of I. I've done this. I've had this for the last few years. And I've decided to start keeping my gratitude in this. This is a Magic of I astrological planner. And I basically weekly come in here and do gratitude like this. I like to make it cute and stuff like that. I wasn't being very consistent with it, but because I would like have something I would be grateful for, and I would say, oh, I'll go in and add it tomorrow and remember, and I'd be forgetting. So what I ended up doing is getting some little Post-its and just writing myself a little note of what it was I was grateful for on that day. And then I could go and backfill it and do it that way. As you can see, the last couple of weeks I have really been slacking simply because I've had a lot going on health-wise and stuff like that. And then it's just been a lot of disruption in the house, so I haven't really been keeping up with it. I'm considering going back through and seeing what I was doing to see if I could finish and find the stuff I was grateful for that day. But I'm also going to give myself grace, and if I decide I don't feel like doing that, I won't do it, and I'll just start from the current week. So yeah, but that's what I'm doing and I will do a little flip through of the first quarter of this entire thing of what I got filled out. So it's not every single day. However, I try to do it as often as I can and whatnot. But yeah, so loving that. And these are the journals that I am in typically if not every day, then often. Continuing on, I have my One Piece journal. I have been journaling my journey through the One Piece anime. I started over from the beginning in January and decided I wanted to keep track of everything because I had so much fun trying it out last year. And so I did order the 2025 Hobonichi weeks to do this in. And breaking it up week by week, week by week has been great for me. I love this, love the cover. Oda is just fantastic with his writing and his drawings. And so yeah, so what I am doing here, I did decorate this front cover with the map of the world, of the One Piece world. I have this little stencil here. I haven't used it yet, so I have used like the stamps and stuff in it. And then also decorated the inside here. Yeah. So what I'm doing here, first off, this is kind of every day, but the actual journaling part isn't, because I am keeping track of what I'm watching when. So basically, what I'm doing is I come in here and I keep track of what episodes I'm watching on what day. So episodes 1 through 4, January, is what I watched. And again, I have decided to decorate with whatever character's birthday is for that month. There was no Straw Hat's birthday for the month of January, but Ace is another prominent character in the series and a beloved character in the series. And so I decided to use him since his birthday is in January to decorate. And so I tried to go with the colors that are prominent for that character. So Ace, he is Fire Fist Ace, so kind of like gold, fiery, or whatever. And so that's why I did this in like the gold. And I do the same thing through the other months. So we have Robin in February, and she's very purple. And I try to match my pen color to the color of what I have going on here. Of course, yellow is not going to show up very well, so he also has a lot of red going on. And then we have the purple for Robin. And then March, I did blue for Sanji because, again, yellow is not really going to show up very well. So, yeah, but then he has blue here. And he does wear a lot of blue clothes and stuff like that. And I just love Sanji. And then we have Usopp in April. I love Usopp, too. And he has a lot of brown. So I've been using this brown Sarasa pen to record the episodes that I'm watching here. And then what I've started doing also is if I'm in a certain arc, once I reach a certain arc, I start putting the arc down at the bottom of the episodes that I watch, just so I can get a bird's eye view of how many weeks it took me to get through that arc. I've typically been watching 3 episodes a night. Every once in a while, I'll watch 4 or 5, but I've been trying to limit it to 3, just because it works better as far as documenting it and having the space to document everything that I need to for that week in the back of the book when I start in the documenting for the weeks, whatever. I know that just sounds like a lot of mush, but anyway. So yeah, so like as you can see here, Thriller Bark took me roughly about 3 weeks to get through. Now I am currently in Sabaody, and oh my god, Sabaody is heartbreaking. So yeah, but anyway, this is April, and then Luffy will actually be May. His birthday is May 5th. And so I will decorate with Luffy, and his stuff will be red. So I'll go back to my red pen. And then getting on into my weeks, this is basically what I've been doing here. And I will come in and the day and just what episodes I watched that day. And then have like the corresponding pictures to go with it, and any things here. And, any blurbs I want to write here or quotes or anything like that from the anime, just to give you a picture of what's going on. I absolutely love this anime so much. It is the best thing I have ever watched in my life. And y'all know y'all think that is hyperbole, but I'm telling you, I have never, ever seen anything like this. And I just can't get enough of it. So anyway, this is what I've been pretty much doing for the last few weeks here. Well, last few months, I should say, through March or whatever. So what I'm going to do is once I have March completed, I think I maybe have one more week I need to get done in March. I will do a complete first quarter flip through of all my pages in this. So yeah, that's basically what's been going on with my One Piece journal. Really enjoying this. This is one of my favorite things to come in here and do. And I'm having a lot of fun basically watching the anime over and just going through the whole thing again. And because I have seen it before, things that I am seeing again now makes a lot of sense because it didn't connect until later on in the anime. And so now it's so good. It's so good. Anyway, I'm gonna stop because I could be here all day talking about One Piece. So yeah, let's move on. Okay, not too much to say about this journal. This is basically what I call my Overflow Journal, and this is basically where I put in things that I want to keep and I don't want to cut down to fit my creative journal. And so I just stick it in here. So like stuff that's just too big for it. Here's just a collage of like orders I've had, and they sent it in like paper or whatever. So I just collaged the paper. And I made little pockets here and there. But like just this type of thing. Keeping little doodads and stuff here. Cards. My sister sends me a lot of postcards because she travels a lot for work. And so just a place to keep stuff like this. This I wanted to keep for my Hobonichi for this year. And then I was able to put the little thing in here in the pocket so it looks like it's just kind of peeking out there. So this is basically what I have going on in here. Anything that's kind of big but I want to keep intact without cutting it down, I will stick in this journal. And that's basically it for this. Okay, here we have my photo a day journal. This is in the Hobonichi Han A6 size for 2025. I forget the name of this design here, but I love it. It is so pretty. I did this last year in a Liberty Fabrics one, and it was a project I started last year simply because I would find myself at any event or whatever, and I would never take pictures. I would forget to take pictures, and I would have nothing to put in like my creative journal and stuff like that. And so I wanted to force myself to remember to take pictures. So I decided to take pictures every day and just document it. And for the most part, I was able to do that. Of course, I skip a day here and there. But for the most part, the majority of it was complete. And I was able to do that. And so I decided to carry on this year. I have decided that this will probably be my last year with the photo a day journal because I feel like I've gotten all that I need to get out of it. And so yeah, basically what I do is take a picture every day. And I like to come in here, and what has been working for me most efficiently for this year is I do it in batches, but then I will print out all the pictures that I need that I have collected for the month so far, and I'll come in here and I'll put all of the pictures down first on the corresponding dates, and then I will come in and decorate it around it, add maybe a little title or something, and then do the blurb. And that has been the most efficient for me. Now I don't end up posting it like that, so I will collect the footage of how I do it. So each time, if I have like 2 or 3 batches each month, I will collect the footage from each batch and then edit it all together and release it in one go. So you have basically monthly videos of me in my photo a day journal. That's what's been working for me. And so yeah, I will continue on like that. And so we're here at the end of March. So as I said, I will do a first quarter flip through, and then I do need to get back in and do some more in April and whatnot like that. But that is it for my photo a day journal. Really enjoying this, and I'm hoping to see it nice and completed at the end of the year. Next, I have this Hobonichi Weeks that I got through the Purple Night. Honestly, I wanted it just because it was so pretty, and it came with its own pencil board, and I was like, I could use this. I was going through physical therapy in the beginning of the year. That actually stopped in March. They released me from physical therapy, so I didn't need it for that any longer. And if I'm being truthful, I did a crappy job of keeping up with my notes and everything that I needed to do for that. And so I had come in here and was like, okay, well, what can I use this for? And I had been hemming and hawing about my reading journal. And I was like, okay, well, what if I just come here and use this as a reading journal? And so I started kind of doing that. And then like in the back, I started putting what I read in January, doing the icons here so I could get a visual of what it looked like. But if I'm being honest, once I started setting this up, it kind of motivated me to actually want to set up the reading journal. Y'all, this is a whole boondoggle, okay? And I was like, okay, so I'm not going to use this for that anymore. And then I still want to use it though. So I actually just was put on a new, it's actually an old medication, but I am restarting it. And I stopped it before because it was causing some things that I didn't like. But I will concede that there were other things going on with me health-wise then when I was taking it that may have affected how I was, how it was reacting with me, I guess. I don't know exactly the words to say. And so I decided to start it again just to see how it's going to go. But if I start, I told my doctor, if I start having some of the same symptoms, I'm off of it. I'm off of it. I'm giving them 6 months or whatever. So what I'm going to do here is basically mark down any symptoms or anything that I'm having that was familiar to me the first time I was taking this. So not in February, but of course in April. So even now already my hands were hurting and stuff like that. So anyway, that's basically how I'm going to use this going forward, unless I think of something else to add to it. We'll see. I don't know. I hate not using this because it's so pretty and so cute. Anyway, as I said, I was motivated to set up my book journal because I decided in that I was setting it up in that, and then I was like, no, I just want the book journal. Y'all, I'm not doing no book journal this year. I can tell you that much. I am not doing a reading journal this year. As you can see, I started setting it up. I put little sticky notes here of what I wanted to do, gold star rating here. This says book of the month, but I'm not sure that this is exactly what this is because this is too many places for the book of the month. So I'm not sure what I was doing here. But I did set up, I did write a list of 25 books in 2025 that I actually wanted to read and get read and off my TBR. And so I set that up in here, did a little bit of decorations. I was going to go back and put titles and stuff like that. And then here is for the full year, what I intended on reading. I think my goal was 75, but I think I have like at least 125 spots because I ended up reading, my goal last year was 56 and I ended up reading 100 books on the dot. So I gave myself way more spots to put little icons, and then I started trying to put the book brackets, and this wasn't the spacing wasn't right for this. So yeah, and then there was information that I needed to get down. I had started putting the information down, and I was like flying through books at one point, and I needed to get the information, and I still had the book, so I was like, I can just go back and pick up the book and get all the information that I need from that book, and write it down and get it into my book journal. Y'all, why did I gave those books to my aunt and completely forgot to get the information that I needed from it. I gave them to my aunt, and then I donated some to the free little library. I have like these bursts of impulsivity, which is crazy. I mean, I'm a Capricorn, so I'm really not a very impulsive person, but I guess that Aries risings triggers sometimes, and I will do something impulsively, and there you go. So the information that I needed to complete this, I don't have anymore. And I am just not going to worry about it. And I'm just going to be like, you know what, this year it's okay that I don't have a reading journal. And maybe I'll just set this up to have it ready to go for next year. I'm not even sure that I even like the way that I started setting this up. So this might just go to the wayside to something else, and I set up a completely new one, or I may just decide I'm not going to waste it and use this for that. So I don't know. Not decided, but I have decided I will not be doing a dedicated reading journal for this year. So yeah, and I was back and forth about that for months, and now I have finally decided that it's just not going to happen. So next, I do want to get back into my Valery journal, and this is my journal where I do anything and everything, and it's just if there's something that I want to do that I feel like doesn't really fit in any of my other journals, I'll put it here. That's why I call it the Valery journal. Quick synopsis of why I call it that is when we were kids, me and my brother, we used to spend a lot of time at my grandparents' house, and so they kept snacks for us, the variety pack of snacks, and we were really, really little, and we did not know how to say variety at the time. So we used to call it the Valery pack. So we ask, can I get a snack from the Valery pack or whatever? And that's why it's variety. So variety, Valery, it's the Valery journal. And so I started out like this, and I have noticed that this has actually turned into a journal that houses a lot of my musical stuff. So lyrics here, and then I did this spread, love the spread of documenting my favorite revenge stories in movie, book, and television show. And then as you can see, doing a lot of my Receiptify spreads in here. I'm currently putting my Receiptifys more in my creative journal now, so I don't build up so much with them. And see, as you can see here, more lyrics. And then I did my Spotify rap for 2023 in here, and I was going to do my Spotify rap for 2024, but to be honest with you, I was so unimpressed with the Spotify rap for 2024 that I was just like, meh. So yeah, anyway, So this is basically it. This is what it's turned into. A lot of musical stuff here. So we'll see what else goes in here. I do want to get back in here. And then here I was just documenting me getting into K-dramas. And speaking of that, I have a dedicated journal for that now. And I'll get into that in just a minute. So, but yeah, I just wanted to document that I was really getting into K-dramas here. And so this is when it started. I really wish I would have put a date on this. But yeah, and this is the last thing that I did in here. And so I do want to get back in here and do some more stuff and whatnot. So that is the hope for Q2. Fingers crossed. So we'll see if that actually happens if I get back into my Valery journal here. And then here I did set this up. This is a dedicated notebook for the K-dramas and Turkish dramas that I love to watch. I actually just finished watching King the Land for the second time. That's one of my favorite ones. So I definitely want to get in here and document that. And before I do that, I actually want to just set up a page that has a list of the different K-dramas that I want to watch that's on my list or rewatch, and also the Turkish dramas that I want to watch or rewatch. And then I'll just come in here and document them as I get that done or whatever. And so yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I love K-dramas. I am so into it. Like how I'm obsessed with One Piece, I'm obsessed with K-dramas. Not as much, okay? One Piece will always be the GOAT. But the K-dramas, they are on my radar, okay? And the Turkish dramas, oh my God. I started those first. Those are off the chain. Especially the ones with John Yaman. Ugh, so good. Anyway, so yeah, that will be my journal for that. I do have a video of me decorating the cover for this. So if you are interested, I will link that above in the cards and you can check that out. Next, we have this is my Daydream journal. So I just keep an account of all of my daydreams in here. Again, I will not be able to show you what's in here because it is very, very private. I will show you, however, how much I've used so far in this Daydream journal. Oh, passing it here. So it's a good amount. And what I'm just, Jesus, why keep, okay. I think that's about it. Yeah, so I've used pretty much this amount here, so I only have this much more to go. And I have another daydream that I have started in my head, but there's so many scenes for it that I'm hesitant to actually start it here, thinking that this what's left may not be enough pages to contain the entire thing. And so what I'm thinking about is, oh, give me 1 second. I need to grab something. Okay, as I was saying, I'm not sure if this will be enough pages for what I'm wanting to do. But I do want to start getting the scenes down so I'm not forgetting them all because there's a lot of them. So what I'm considering is using one of these notebooks. These are both B6 Slim as well. This is the Midori one. This is where I started decorating this. I actually decorated it for my K-drama journal and I hated the way it looked. So I ended up ordering a whole new notebook because when I peeled everything off, it looked like this. And so yeah, I have been considering using this to get down those scenes, and then I can just put it all together in a new notebook. So either this or this, which is the new B6 Slim size from Stylogy. So I am considering using one or the other of these to get those scenes down, and then I can get them all together in what order I need them to go in or whatever, and then write the entire thing down in a completely separate notebook. I did go ahead and order another B6 Slim. That should be coming soon. This is the half year. I accidentally got the half year. So I did go ahead and order the complete full year. So once I'm done with this Daydream journal, I can just shift into that one. And so we'll see. This is what I'm thinking. And y'all are probably like, this is way too involved just for a Daydream journal. Yeah, it is. And I'm okay with that because it's pretty much turned into a short story journal or novella journal or whatever. So, but that's that on that. And yeah, that's it for my Daydream journal. I do have this housed in a Chic Sparrow cover. I think I need to, as you can see, the elastic here is kind of loose, so I need to tighten it up a little bit. Yeah, but that's what I'm thinking about for that. And I will be back in it. I have taken quite the break from that because it's like I have these things, but I don't know where to start. Like, so anyway, moving on. This is just my brain dump journal. Basically, I just write random stuff in here that I need to remember or keep in order or refer back to and blah, blah, blah. See, this is revenge stories of me. I just showed you in the Valery journal of what I wanted to do. So making thoughts and ideas and fleshing it out there. So that's basically all that this is. And I've had this for like a few years now. Still holding on to it. As you can see, it is flaking off and everything like that. It's a mess. But yeah, until it gets filled up, that's what I'll be using. And now we're getting down to the wire. This is my Hobonichi Avec A6. I decided to use this because I have been getting ridiculously behind in my journals. And so I was like, I'm going to try the Hobonichi Avec since it's dated and it will keep me accountable for getting my journaling done every day and everything like that. It did not. It did not keep me accountable for anything. I completely lost the plot with this. I would come in and do stuff and then I would not want to do anything. And then some days I just did not vibe with this at all. And I'll tell you why. I don't like the format of it. And it's crazy because I see other people's A6 journals, Avecs, and I love the way that they use it and everything like that. But it just didn't work for me. I don't like these big numbers here. I don't like these little, let me see if I can find a spot. I don't like these little square things here. And then of course, having to figure out how to cover up the quotes at the bottom. It just did not gel with this journal. I was not excited to get into this at all. I did do some journaling here. I think I got through January, a little bit of February, and then a couple things in March. And I was just not feeling it. As you can see, all of these blank pages. So I think in the future that I don't want to just completely like not use this journal at all. I am abandoning it for now, but I think in the future, if I do use it, I will just completely ignore the dates and stuff like that and try to work around the rest of the stuff that was getting on my nerves, just to use the paper up and stuff like that. We'll see. And then I love the way I decorated this cover. I didn't want to abandon it because of that. And then this cover, like the whole thing was just so cute. Love this A6 one-piece cover. I do believe this is the polyurethane one. And so, yeah, I'll do a flip of this stuff too. But it's really not much. So I have decided to completely abandon this. And I decided to replace this as my creative journal with this. And so now that I've decided that I will not be working in the Avec any longer for this year, I decided to try this personal size Chic Sparrow notebook. This is Tomoe River paper. And so far, so good. I decided not to decorate the cover at the moment just because I wanted to come in and see how I like this first before I did all that, because I'm so sad that I decorated that other one and I'm not liking it at all. So yeah, anyway, I wanted to come in and try things out first. And so that's what I did. One thing I've noticed is I wanted to get back into using color. I have recently I felt like something has been missing for a while, and that's what it is, the color. I've been recently watching Courtney Dizis' old videos, James Burke, and Amy Tangerine. And one thing about all of these people that I love and why I gravitate to their videos and their journaling style is because they use so much color and they kind of have these chaotic spreads. And I just really, really love that. Although I'm probably not as chaotic as they are. I just wanted to get back into using color and what is familiar to me. And so, yeah, another thing I wanted to try is I didn't know if I would like the cut apart letters. And so I just said, let me try that out first and see if I like it, because I'll see things other people do and I'm like, oh, that's cute, I want to try it, and I'll try it and I don't like the way it looks in my journal, so I'll just abandon that. But I do really, really enjoy the way that this looks here. And so this is like kind of a test spread here. Another one as well is here. I was watching One Piece and the Sniper King made his entrance and I just loved it. This is a little bit off as far as the slant that I was trying to get here, but I'm okay with that. And then again, just adding a little bit of color. And then here I just put my visit to the emergency room and whatnot. And so just really, really enjoying that. And I do believe I shared this spread as well. This is my March favorites. I do have a process video up for this. And then I have a couple more spreads in this that I'll share with you. I have process videos for those coming in the next couple of weeks as well. So yeah, anyway, really, really enjoying this. As you can see, I'm adding my color I'm doing my little decorations. I'm really, really enjoying this so much. And so this will be my creative journal going forward for the rest of the year. Hopefully it works out for me and I don't like start feeling like it's not working for me as well. But this is what I have decided that I'm going to be in. And so because of that, I will end up decorating the cover soon probably. And I will probably film and take you all along for that. So yeah, anyway, just stay tuned. I have some more creative videos coming for you. Again, some more first quarter flips and etc, etc. And that is pretty much it. That should wrap this video up. If you have any comments or questions about anything, please leave those below. I trust that you all have been safe and well, and I will catch you in the next video. If you enjoyed this content, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing, and catch you next time. Bye.